So for today's movie review, I'll be reviewing the 1972 American horror TV-made movie Gargoyles. And the film is well known for being the first showcase for the talents of the makeup and special effects guru Stan Winston. You know, the same guy that would end up working on such high-budget films from Pumpkinhead, Predator, Terminator, and Jurassic Park. And apparently back in the day, Gargoyles was a well-remembered TV movie, and even though the movie has gained a cult status over the years, it never saw legal avenues on home video. And now most people view it more as a novelty than an actual classic. But despite it not having a legit release on home video, is Gargoyles a good TV-made horror movie? As for the plot of the movie, it's about this father-daughter duo. While traveling through the southern United States, they stumble upon a colony of living gargoyles. However, as the story progresses, tensions start to rise between the humans and the gargoyles, as an all-out war looms between the two fractions. In terms of what I liked about the movie, I like the fact that we have a horror movie revolved around gargoyles, because I find it to be very underrated, because you always see movies with either zombies, vampires, werewolves, and so on and so forth, but not enough movies revolved around gargoyles. Also, the setting, the idea for the story, I didn't see it coming, because I was expecting something along the lines of, oh, we're in a city, we're focused on either like a detective or a priest or something, and they happen to fight monsters that happen to be murdering people. This here, I like the fact that we're the father-daughter duo, where it's like, oh, we're an archaeologist and just a photographer, traversing the lands of the Southwest, meet some locals, and they happen to band together, fight these creatures in the middle of a desert. Very unexpected. Also, I like the central focus of the movie being the father-daughter duo, because we don't really see enough movies that are focused on the father-daughter relationship, in a horror movie at least. Now granted, the relationship between these two is not the best handled, but I like the fact that the movie is focused on these two characters. And as far as the makeup goes on the gargoyles themselves, it's pretty good, albeit it's very prototypey, considering the fact this was the first movie Stan Winston ever worked on, and from there he got a lot better at making a lot of creature makeup and animatronics, but for a first movie, it gets the job done. And speaking of the gargoyles, I also like the designs of the gargoyles, because not every single gargoyle looks the same. Granted, there's a lot of costumes that look very similar, but there's enough small details on each costume that make each one feel unique. And also, I like the fact that we learn about the life cycle of the gargoyles in the movie, because I can't really think of a movie where we learn about the life cycle. I mean, yeah, we learn about their religious influence, but not enough about their actual life cycle. In terms of what I disliked about the movie, I found that the opening narration that sets up the backstory for the gargoyles to be really off-putting in terms of the way the movie moves past it, because, again, going back to what I originally thought the movie was going to be about, it sounded like we were going to be in a city, because in the narration, we see a lot of city shots of, like, the gargoyles overlooking the city. Yet, after narration, we go into a completely different story. So, yeah, the narration portion is very off-putting in comparison to the rest of the movie. Also, the first 15 to 60 minutes of the movie is really slow until the first attack. But once you get past these first 15 to 60 minutes, the movie gets generally better. And the movie does this really stupid thing with the gargoyles where anytime they show up, they do these unnecessarily slow-mo shots when the gargoyles are moving around, and it just gets annoying. Like, there's literally a scene involving the gargoyles that's in slow-mo for 4 minutes of the entire movie, and there are several scenes like it throughout the whole movie. Also, the voice filter for the gargoyles are really weird. I mean, I know that they're not meant to sound natural, but it doesn't really sound fitting for the characters, at least from my point of view. Also, I hate the way the movie ends, because the movie just kind of ends. It doesn't really have a proper resolution. It just kind of cuts off. Almost feels like the movie's set up for an unmade TV show. That's what I get out of it. So, for my final verdict of Gargoyles, I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie, because knowing TV-made movies, they're typically not the best, but here's one where I think it's actually pretty decent. Granted, I do feel that the first 16 minutes, along with the slow-mo editing, does drag the movie down quite a bit. But if you were to look past these and enjoy the movie for what it is, being a dumb, fun romp revolved around gargoyles, you'll have a blast. So overall, it's got some problems, but the movie is entertaining. And before I give my final rating, what did everyone else have to say about Gargoyles? looks like not a lot of people like this movie. And so, for my final rating of Gargoyles, I give it a 3 out of 5. So, what's your favorite TV made horror movie? And see you later.